tonight we stand beneath the same sky that watched the King of Kings carry his cross to show us a lesson of maximum love, forgiveness, sacrifice, and grace. We march not for conquest, but because a higher purpose summons us to protect the weak, to honor the truth, and to act when the innocent cry for aid. Cherish what we are, honor where we came from, remember who we serve, not the fleeting ambitions of rulers, but Jesus Christ, our Lord. He taught that the greatest among us must be the servants of all, the caretakers of the elders who cannot fend for themselves anymore, the protectors of the bodies and the hearts of the women inside our walls, the guardians of all the children who wait for their fathers to come back home unharmed. Let that mission shape every swing of the sword. If we must fight, let it be with justice in our minds and mercy in our hearts. Keep your discipline, guard your honor, protect the wounded, and spare the ones who surrender. Don't let fury lead where judgment must walk. Look to one another as one big loyal family. Guard your brothers in arms and fight for the honest cause of preserving the will of God Almighty. Let our banners be known not for wrath, but for the righteousness we show when the dawn returns. Ask God for strength to do what is right, for wisdom to restrain what is wrong, and for the grace to leave the world better than we found it. We will defend truth, protect the innocent, and preserve the land and liberty God has given us. For battle is futile without purpose, for strength is nothing without righteousness, and victory is hollow without faith. Today, we fight as one, we win as one, we come back home as one. Jesus, quies refugium nostrum, ante nos ambulet, es not constantes custodia, honors et virtus. Hello, guys. I hope you can hear me well. I hope the microphone works today. It's the cable is a bit iffy. I bought a replacement, but you know, you know how these things are. Things are built not to last nowadays, so you keep buying and buying more. Let me check who is here and greet you properly. God bless you all, and I hope you're having a great week so far. I know some of us have had hard days lately. Today is going to be a bit of a controversial live stream, but necessary. And I will explain you why I got so involved in this situation with uh, this our little friend here, um, Chad the Builder. I wanted to prove a point, but I'm gonna get into that after I greet you all. Hello, Miss Cojones. Love that username. We need everyone to have some cojones nowadays because it seems like we're lacking. Hello, Ophelia. Hello, Carla and Hanny. Hey, you girl 17. Who else is around here? Carl must be around here. Hello, Carl. Appreciate you all. Thank you for being here again. Don Davis. Hello. God bless you. You're most welcome. Don't even name it. Thank you. Um, let's see. Who else? Who else? Who else? I just like to acknowledge all of you. For me, it's important. As I was telling Carl, the main purpose. Oh, okay, Carl and Hanny, got it. Okay, Hani must be your partner, your girlfriend, or your wife. Okay, I'm so distracted. As I was telling Carl just a few minutes ago on Telegram, uh, the main thank you, Ophelia. It's a pleasure to have you. I'm honored for you, for all of you guys to be here. Uh, I hope that. Oh, okay, it's a doggy. Okay, nice. Okay, well, that's just lovely. My cat is a bit. He has Asperger's. Well, I like to joke with that, so I tell my wife because she doesn't like much hugging. She doesn't like much touching. She's very tender, very sweet, but she doesn't like for you to hold her more than 5 seconds, and you know, she's just very funny. Um, that I was telling Carl that my main purpose nowadays, with everything that has been going on, is to bring us people together. And the other day, I was listening to Buma Dorian in his awesome live stream that he was doing with Dean. And Buma was saying something that I completely agree with. Pardon me, I'm just getting sorted out. Um, that all of us, I we actually joke with that. That's very funny. My wife and I joke with Asperger instead of Asperger. So I tell my wife that the cat is an Asperger, but uh, yes, that we need to get together. All of us that are for the truth, that are not following this psychological operations. We're not into um, cultish kind of cliques and tribalism, but the true tribalism has been happening against us on the other side. And you know this was never the purpose of total disclosure or even being a truth teller, a truther, which is a word that has been bastardized and lost all kinds of meanings. It's good meaning because of the kind of people that has been involved in what we do. It was always about mainly exposing the abuse on children, right? That's what brought me here back in 2018. That was the main reason I started doing this. Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington got murdered. You guys know I have my history with Chester Bennington, and that I was also a musician, and I have history as a fixer and drug dealer of celebrities, musicians usually, but also some actors that came to Costa Rica to play concerts, to have vacations, to you name it, to do business. I was the fixer. So a lot of the inside information that I've gotten is not only the external sources, but what I witnessed personally and what I was told with the people, with the few people, because it was not everybody. Not everybody is that friendly, but the few people that were notorious musicians, Hollywood actors, actresses that decided to share a time with me and spend some time together and gossip, basically gossip, or just decompress and tell me a bit of their experiences in the industry. Um, it was always about that. It was human trafficking, protecting the children, exposing pedophilia, secret societies, Satanism. When I started, I wasn't even a born again Christian. Most of you guys don't know that because very few people have followed me since 2017, 2018. When I started doing this, I was still agnostic, even though I was an agnostic that believed in God, like knew it was God, there was a God, but I just didn't have a relationship with Him. I just didn't
had any concerns about my personal salvation, or even if I did bad things, you know, uh, I'm an open book. I say more than I should most of the time. I, I tell you, I used to sell drugs. I wasn't a drug dealer. I was more like that guy that buys a large chunk to party himself, and his friends got a bit from it. And then if I had, for example, they told me, hey, Korn or Black Sabbath or I don't know, freaking Bob Dylan is gonna play in Costa Rica on this date. We need you to be in the stadium at this hour because he's asking for weed, he's asking for LSD, he's asking for cocaine. So that's what I used to do. On the side, I was a DJ at a British pub that also hosted some events. We did certain things there with, you know, John Lydon, Johnny Rotten, my friend Andy Rourke from the Smiths, Peter Hook from Joy Division, a New Order, New World Order. Who else? I had a few bad experiences as well with Gwen Stefani. It was a nasty, nasty thing that happened there. That I will talk about it at some point. Um, I forget the name of this chick from LCD Sound System, but that was a bit sketchy as well. And I also hung around with Alice Glass from Crystal Castles, the people from Cypress Hill, Cage the Elephant. I'm just trying to remember on the go. Bjork, but Bjork I just saw from a distance. I didn't meet personally. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Aerosmith, obviously. I had my dealings with Steven Tyler, Pearl Jam, Smashing Pumpkins. Um, who else? I'm forgetting quite a few. It was many concerts. It was many experiences. Bjork is cool, but she's a bit, I'm afraid she's. I don't know if she's part of the cult, um, but she uses imagery here and there. Um, yes, I can name names. I have always named names. I have no problem with that. Um so, just to give a briefing to the people that are new, really quick. Um, the videos that I showed at the beginning is the new film that I have scheduled to be released on January. December is too crazy. We're not gonna be able to do it. I have to go to stay at my in-laws for like a week, meet my mother-in-law, take her to lunch. Then I have to have all these parties, and everyone is partying in December. And I was talking with a friend that is a former PM MP of Scotland, the United Kingdom. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't think he has given me permission, since I'm a bit controversial and he has a political career. But we were talking and about the situation in England, and I was asking him how he was, and basically, Jesus Christ, I lost my point. What's going on? Ah, I remembered. He was telling me, yeah, December is a bad idea. Wait for January. Cage the Elephant is awesome. I love them. I partied with them. They're not that wild. Bit of coke, mostly alcohol, some weed. Pretty mellow guys. Not into groupies, as far as I could tell. Um, there were some girls there, but women. So that's not a crime. There's nothing wrong with that. The partying with them was very very chill. We were just listening to indie music and talking about bands, and They were showing me their gear, and I was showing them my gear. And yeah, nothing bad to say about those guys. Actually, I met them in 20. What was it? I believe it was 2012. I might be wrong, but I think it was 2012. So they were quite young, very green. I don't know if things have changed. I don't know if they have been corrupted by the industry. I can tell you it's very hard to be in that industry and not get completely rotten. You know, it's just such a toxic environment. I'm not gonna say there's not good times. There's many good times. When you're partying, when you're young, I'm not gonna say it was all shit because it's not the truth. I did have fun. What I did notice is mostly that there's no loyalty among friends. That you are forced to follow a certain ideology, of course, liberal ideology, because even back then I wasn't a liberal, but I supported liberal agendas because I was stupid, and and I was mostly a libertarian. So being a libertarian can go both ways. There's ones that lean left and others that lean right. What I did know is that I was a fan of Ron Paul back then. Now I know that Ron Paul is controlled and his son is controlled as well, etc. There's no loyalty. Everyone, and this is something that I didn't do myself, because I'm not like that. I was never like that. These guys in the left, and especially in the music industry and arts and fashion and modeling and all is connected. Everyone parties together. And yes, musicians can be very cool. uh I guess that my most hostile experience was with Axl Rose. I met him in 2010, and he was very angry with me because at the time he was very fat and very fucked up. And he actually, I think it was like the concert was supposed to be on a Sunday, and I partied in the same place they were partying on a Saturday. I didn't go to deliver them anything. I was only partying there. And Axel was all fucked up on coke. Super loud, super annoying. He was with not the Guns N' Roses, that is the original lineup. He was with the Chinese Democracy lineup. So a bit underwhelming. And it so happened that he was with some women, and I ended up going with one of them that he liked, and things got dicey, and he started throwing shit and bottles at us, and we just left and left him screaming there. And then he canceled the show, alleging that there was a failure in the platform that they were doing for the concert, that the platform that they were supposed to perform at, the stage, wasn't safe enough, and he canceled the concert. But in reality, it was because he was fucked up on coke. So there you have it. Usually, Axl Rose is very notorious for canceling concerts for different reasons, mostly egotistical reasons. But I can tell you that in Costa Rica, during that first cancellation, it was because he was still doing coke from 6 p.m. in the afternoon the day before that he was supposed to perform, up until like 2 p.m. the next day. So no concert. And yes, the Chinese democracy days were pathetic. Those guys were, I don't know. I didn't like it. I did see them live with the original lineup some 3 years later, and it was bloody awful. Instrumentally, very good. Obviously, you cannot go wrong with Slash and Duff McKagan and Matt Sorum. Very solid band. Very solid band. They're professionals. I am actually more of a fan of Velvet Revolver than Guns N' Roses. I was a crazy Scott Weiland fan, and still to this day, Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. Those were my favorite bands. Casually, the bands I never got to see live because they never went to my country. I never was able to travel to see them. You know, when I traveled to concerts, I usually went to Mexico, went to Panama, or went to Colombia that were cheaper. You know, I even, I did some things that were not correct. There was a time that I moved a lot of blow from Panama to Costa Rica and stuff like that. Very risky stuff, but long gone days. I stopped doing that in 2014, basically. 2014, 2015 was the last ones. Velvet Revolver was very nice. I like the first album, Contraband. I believe it was the name of the album. From the first song until the last, very good songs, very good record. But to not tire people, to talking about music, I could talk about music the whole night. I'm not as knowledgeable as I used to be because my hard drive has been formatting itself, so I have forgotten some things. But you know, it happens. Axel, yeah, Axel is a hot mess. I'm just checking the comments here real quick. Yeah, some musicians are very chill. Actors too, believe it or not. Some of them are really chill. Some of them are complete assholes. You usually don't get the middle ground with these people. Um, with Guns N' Roses, I loved Appetite for Destruction. Obviously, the first record. They never did anything uh, similarly as good. Obviously, Use Your Illusion, which was released in 1994, if I'm not mistaken, a double record. I liked it. I liked it. I cannot say I didn't. I even thought it was more poppy, more ballads, and less punk rock garage band. Um, yep, me too. Hey, you girl. I was very starstruck when I was younger. Hence why I entered into music. For me, my idols, my heroes were these guys: Kurt Cobain, Scott Weiland. Uh, I was a huge Sex Pistols fan. Huge. Like when I was 17, 18 years old, that was my thing. Listen to punk rock and get fucked up. I went through all the genres: grunge, alternative rock, hard rock, classic rock, blues rock, jazz rock, psychedelic rock, progressive rock, you name it. For me, music is like food. I like variety. I like to try different things, and I like to keep and stay with what I like the most. I was a huge Pink Floyd fan also for some time, doing mushrooms and those things when I was young. Not endorsing those kind of conducts right now. I want to specify. I'm just telling you so you see that it is possible to change your life. I was a hot mess, um, brawling in the bars, being, very promiscuous and very lawless in general, like, very nonchalant about certain things, nonchalant about being irresponsible at work, arriving late, arriving hungover and fucked up. That was like almost every day. There was an era in 2007, 2000, from 2007 up to 2013, 2014, 2013, 2014 actually. I used to party every single day. I probably just rested one day a week. And there were stints in which I stayed awake partying with the same people for 3 or 4 days. So, if you have done this in your life, you know what I'm talking about. It's testing. Your health goes to shit, your brain goes to shit, And as I was explaining, there's no loyalty among people in these circles. That's the most depressing part of it. Guys pass around girls like they're a joint, basically. Which reminds me, I need to smoke a cigarette. I haven't smoked a cigarette all day. Only one. Only one. I'm gonna be honest. You guys are awesome because you're an easy audience to talk to. I'm also very, very, very thankful for having at a bit of Buma's audience because and I don't. I hope that he has also brought over some of my people to his audience because you guys are just so chill. Uh, it's just so relaxing to talk to you. It's like very, very family oriented in the sense that it feels very fraternal. Um, More or less, it reminds me to the chat, and I don't want you guys to get me wrong. It reminds me to the Good Lion chat when it started because it was a lot of nice people too, different people, New Age, Christian, non secular, but people that were just kind to each other and supporting each other and trying to find the truth and trying to connect with people, and that's what matters in the end. We need to connect with each other. uh, the conservative movement, if you can call it that nowadays, because there's not really conservative politicians. It's like a posture. It's a drip drip drip, same agenda but slower. At least that's how I see it. You're all welcome to disagree. If you disagree, you can put it in the chat and we can discuss it and debate. And as long as everything is done with respect, I have no problem. People correct me. I actually fucked up with something recently. I don't know if you guys saw my post because I posted a picture of Jesus Christ that had something a bit sketchy, occultic. And because I was stupid, I don't know if I was half asleep, I didn't notice. And I just posted today. I was so pissed. I even unfollowed the account that uploaded that picture. We all make mistakes. So if you need to correct me, if you need to say, "Hey, Alessandro, this is not like this," guys, don't be afraid. I'm not gonna bite your head off as long as you're respectful. I like to treat people as I would like for them to treat me, and if people are nice and not hostile, I have no issues. If people come hostile, then I'm gonna match the energy. I believe in that. I'm just not a pushover. um, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not your guy. If you want to push over, you're mistaken. Metallica, okay, I saw Metallica as well. I saw Iron Maiden, Anthrax, Slayer. I think they played together, four of them in Costa Rica once. I think it was Megadeth, Metallica, Slayer, and what Anthrax. Yeah, it was four bands. Very nice concert. The Black Sabbath one was very good because I love Megadeth. I don't know if you guys know, but Dave Mustaine is a born again Christian. He has been sober for years. For that event, I had to deliver Ozzy Osbourne 3 8 balls. I don't know if all of them were for him, but I think he was sharing with a roadie. Very nice. Ozzy, I know that he's a cult member. Let's not pretend he's not. But I think he was trying to change his life a bit towards the end. He was recorded holding the Bible at some point during the last days. I believe that the entourage that he had around him was very toxic, evil. Tommy Ayomi, I don't like him. I bad, terrible energy, and But what can you do? It is what it is. Ozzy is super nice. Well, he was super nice. He's no longer with us. Duff McKagan was my favorite from Guns N' Roses. Mis Cojones also. Um, But yeah, it's uncool to be a starstruck. Very uncool. You have to. These people are normal people, and playing music is tough. To be honest, singing. I wasn't much of a guitar player. I was mostly a singer. Singing is very hard as well. It's very physically demanding, believe it or not. Um, and your voice needs to be properly trained, properly taken care of. If you're out there partying and then you go outside in the cold and you're smoking and doing other drugs, that's not going to work well. If you're going to do coke before playing a show, terrible, terrible decision, because you're going to dry up your vocal cords. You need to have enough uh, hydration for you to be able to sing well all across the concert. We're talking 1 or 2 hours, depends on what you're gonna do. We usually played 1 hour concerts. I didn't like doing more than 1 hour. It was, you know, I was a bit. I was very energetic when I played, but I wanted to party. I was obsessed with partying, and that was a self-destruction kind of obsession. Obviously, it's not. I had fun sometimes. Most times, I didn't have fun. Uh, what I was trying to share with you is that there's no respect among thieves, as they say, and I tend to believe that there's no respect among criminals and among liberals, which is not the same. Not the same. Not all liberals are criminals, but most criminals are liberals. And, you know, passing around women and people sleeping with the girlfriend of their best friends, and girls doing that to their best friends as well. The hypocrisy, the jealousy, the egos. There were people in the scene that I couldn't stand, and it wasn't because of no reason. It was their general attitude, things that I know that they did to friends of mine, men and women. There were some people that were abusive sexually. There were mostly gay people that were involved in the fashion industry that I knew that were groomers. That was very common. The events, we all went to the concerts. We had everyone coming in, people from fashion, people, models, artists, even designers, people that work in publishing, marketing. For some reason, it's like everyone is creative. Everyone knows each other, especially in a small country like Costa Rica. That if it depends on where you live, but there's places in Costa Rica that are very Americanized. There's even a district in Costa Rica that it's called Escazú, where 50% of the people are foreigners, mostly American. I believe we have 200,000 Americans living in Costa Rica, and it's a country of 5 million people. So that's 20. If I'm not mistaken, that's 2%. Let me, 220. Yeah, something like that. 2%, 3% of the Costa Rican population is American. Um, Duff McKagan was an amazing bass player, without doubt. I didn't like mosh pits a lot, but yeah, I had the Contravent LP as well. I don't have any CDs anymore. I got rid of them. I have everything digital nowadays. I have a collection of like 45,000 songs right now. I lost my previous collection because my hard drive just died. And I used to have like 120,000, so I'm trying to rebuild. I love classical music too. So right now, I'm downloading Richard Wagner because I'm gonna go and see an opera with my wife in a week or two. We're gonna go to the opera to have a date, and I'm gonna go to the most famous medieval restaurant. It's a tavern, a medieval tavern in the center of Lisbon, and we're gonna go and have a dinner, a late dinner, 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and I'm gonna make my first restaurant review. And I've already seen more or less what they serve. You know, they serve quail, rabbit, venison, wild boar, just delicious. I'm gonna go crazy. You know, nowadays that I don't party, my obsessions are, you know, obviously working is one of my obsessions. Working out, I'm trying to get back in shape. Um, I actually just got these um, Italian boxing gloves because I need to start training boxing again. Um, it's one of the best exercises you can do to build cardio really quickly. But yeah, that's basically like my lesson. Uh, Not everyone was bad. I have friends that I still to this day I love and respect, and that they never fuck me over. Now there weren't the most stand up of people, but they were good, decent people, normal. You know, I'm a Christian. People think, oh, if you're a Christian, you need to be super judgmental, and there's a competition to see who is the better Christian, and we need to see who which church is the best. I don't believe in that. I just don't like that. It repulses me, and it was part of the reasons why I quit the Catholic Church. I was raised Roman Catholic, and I quit the church when I was 12. Got into drugs, got into rock and roll, got into all the mess that I did when I was young. And when I was 32, I said, okay, it's time to stop. That was 7 years ago. And I said, I'm going to become a born again Christian, basically, because the evil that I saw around me and in the world was so pervasive, so real, so tangible, that I was convinced that there was a God. And I was convinced that I needed to join God's side because it was just the right thing to do. Once I learned that children were being victimized like this with satanic ritual abuse, even though I had my own experience, obviously I didn't know this was like a thing that happens every day, everywhere. Um, that was something that caught me by surprise, and obviously it triggered me in ways that I cannot explain to you guys nowadays. Um, you know, when you get speechless and you get triggered like that. So I decided to jump into all this. And the purpose of total disclosure was never to be a nationalist or to be against the migrants or to denounce black people because they're violent against whites. This was never even in my realm of possibility. It was all about the children, the secret societies, communism here and there, but that came on a bit later. Nowadays, because we have all these problems, especially here in Europe, but in America, you have similar cases of illegal migrants that have committed atrocities beyond description with children. Trafficking rings. What happened in the border in the United States, where they make these temporary camps, and the border patrol finds these horrible, horrible things, evidence of mass rapings and stuff like that. So that when I realized that this was going on here in Europe, because I came here to Europe in August 22, 2022. And I was already obviously denouncing migration and open borders and all that. But I think it was like 3 months before we came here that I started really reporting it, what was going on, both in America and and here in Europe. And when I came here, One of the things that happened early on, and that most of you know, is that I was there in my house. Actually, my father-in-law. We were staying there for a month because my wife and I were looking for an apartment, and we stayed there for a month, and it was hard. You know, I don't have to tell you that. Hard for my father-in-law too. It's a month with a bunch of people in your house, and we had planned a vacation to go to the beach to the south coast that is basically called Algarve, which was one of the areas where the Muslims had conquered in Portugal, the south. And when we were there, my wife told me, "Hey, listen, when I was coming from university, this and this happened. This guy that had stalked me before, and I had told him to fuck off, came and pulled me by the hair, insisting that I talk to him, and nothing serious. The guy was just insistent and disrespectful, but he didn't touch her privates. He didn't, necessarily." Uh, Violent her, but it was harassment. So she told me that, and because we were like, what, 400 miles, 400 kilometers away, I said, Lua, you tell me this now because you think that when we come back, I'm gonna forget about it and I'm not gonna do anything about it. But it's gonna be the opposite. I'm gonna just keep building on rage until we go back. And then we go back, and the next day you're gonna take me where this happened and you're gonna show me who it was. And so it happened. We came back on Saturday. Sunday morning, I woke her up really early. I dressed with my sport clothes, the clothes that I used to go out jogging, and I took out all my jewelry, all my chains. I left the weapons at the house because I always carry a knife, decent sized knife, and I used to carry brass knuckles as well, just in case. Um, Nowadays, I carry the same, and I carry some other things, but for security reasons, I don't like to tell people exactly what I have. Um, and she took me there. Terrible neighborhood. It's just that in between the university and her house, there's this bad neighborhood where they sell drugs. And, you know, my wife is the kind of person that likes to save money about, she doesn't like spending money, which, a lot of men would love for their wives to have that characteristic. I have no complaints. She actually scolds me when if I overspend in groceries and things like that because I just like to have the house well equipped. So she takes me there. Bad neighborhood. The highway is right next to the neighborhood. So you basically climb some stairs, and there's this row of buildings, and in one of these buildings they sell drugs, and basically you have like this low class condominiums. And the guy was there, uh, with a plate of food, eating something, talking with an old man, and they both were wearing a black shirt. This is a bit sad, but this is what happened. I'm gonna be honest. And my wife told me it's him, and I said okay. But I first saw. She told me it's the guy with the black shirt. Both had black shirts. So I came to the old man, like a 50-year-old dude, and I said, "It was you!" And I grabbed him by the chest, right, like with the shirt, and he stays like this, super shocked, and the other guy immediately recognizes that I'm the husband or the boyfriend of the woman he was talking. So he throws the plate at me with the food. It was like some freaking bullshit with lettuce and I don't know. I just crouch and dodge it, and as soon as I got up, boom, uh, a frontal punch to the mouth. The guy got knocked out immediately and hit his head on the stairs and opened a gash on his head. And as he fell, I was very enraged. I think I lacked a bit of self control that day. I must admit, one has to admit when one acts the wrong way. And I started kicking him in the ground and telling him, "Motherfucker, you wanna harass my wife? You're gonna touch my wife." And the guy tries to hug my leg so I cannot kick him anymore. And so I'm very distracted, and I notice I just feel boom from behind, and all of a sudden, like bees, like a swarm of bees, I'm surrounded by. My wife says it was 15 people. I like to say 10 because I just don't think that it's credible to say that I was attacked by 15 people, punches, chairs, kicks in the head, and not I didn't get killed. I was like this of getting killed. It was honestly God that saved me. But long story short, good experience for me. I had fun. It made me realize that I still got it. Because it had been a while since I was into a fight like that. And I defended my wife's honor, which is a must. If you're a man, that's your duty. You have to protect the ones you love: children, elderly, women. And even if they're not your family, if you are in the street and you see something going on, it is my belief, at least this is me, I would interfere. But I understand that nowadays you have to be careful. You can be killed, you can be shot because of meddling, and especially if it's like domestic violence, it's complicated. You have to be careful. I don't want to advocate for violence. I have to say that if you can diffuse a situation by talking, that's usually the best path, especially in Democrat states, especially here in Europe, where if you hit someone and you really damage them, you're gonna probably go to jail or get a hefty lawsuit. So all in all, usually the situation is not worth it to be violent most of the time. Sometimes you have to make a stand. And with that in mind, I wanted to show you a video that I uploaded everywhere recently. I have it on my Instagram. Let me see. Okay, it's here. I'm gonna play it on Instagram. Yeah, because this is something that you should never do. I don't know if some of you saw this video, but if you saw it, you probably saw what I wrote. And I'm gonna add some advice that one of my friends that participates in the chat told me, and that I believe he's correct. Let me share my screen really quickly. Okay, there you have it. So I'm basically gonna start and show you the main subject of today's live stream, and then we can move on and talk about other things. This happened in Portsmouth, England. The usual suspect, I think I don't know if he's a Muslim or a Hindu, one of the two. You can clearly see that. But he followed a teenage girl, 13 years old, home as she was coming back from the university, I believe. So she came running to her house, went upstairs, and the guy was screaming at her from the street while her father was inside the house. So let's see this.
Go on, come here. Come on then. Come here. Come here. Someone's coming out.
Okay, this is not the beginning of the video, so let me restart it. Okay, there you go.
What are you filming, Bob? Because you're a fucking din, mate.
Dick, if you are a gentleman.
What are you up to? Get away from my house.
I'll fuck you.
Get away from my house.
Pussy.
Get away from my house.
Pussy.
You skank.
That's your house. That's your house.
What you doing? Pussy.
Pussy, yeah.
Dad, go out there,
Pussy
mate.
view. Pussy view. Come on. If you get it, come down. Come down. Pussy
Only
view.
come down?
Yeah. Pussy view.
Only come down, both of us?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
Come down.
Go down there now.
Pussy.
Go on, come here. Come on then. Come here.
Pussy.
Come here, someone's coming out. Here.
What are you saying to my kids, mate?
Sorry?
What are you saying to my children?
Children, I didn't see children.
What are you saying to my fucking kids, you cunt?
Children.
What are you saying to my children?
My voice is there.
Very. What are you saying to my
My
children?
voice is there.
Thank you, my lord.
They're watching.
Nonce.
Why are you filming, Bob?
Because you're a fucking din, mate.
Dick, if you are a
So you see what happened here, and I'm sorry because you were probably listening to an echo. I should have turned off my speakers. What happened there is the guy stalking your daughter, 13-year-old girl, following her home so he knows where she lives. These guys usually get obsessed. It's not a harmless situation, it's a dangerous situation. Um, in this case, you don't know if the guy has a weapon. So, my advice here is if you're gonna get out of the house, you have to do something about it because the next time you might not be home or your daughter might be caught in an alley, and God forbid, we have been finding dead girls all over Europe every single week. I don't want to say daily and exaggerate, but it is daily. It is very sad. It is very defeating. Me as a man, I feel responsible. And in this case, what I would advise, first of all, you don't get out of the house without a weapon, just in case. Just in case. You're not gonna use it firsthand, but you have to have a backup. If there is another man with you in the house, a brother or something, both come out. You have to have, let me see if I have them here. Well, this is the pocket knife that I usually carry always with me in my vest, in my jacket, in my coat, just in case. It also works for emergencies to cut something. The other day we were at the barbecue, they forgot the knives, and I had my knife. So there's things that you have to have around the house. I have my axe just in case as well. Let me point it, very sharp, as you can see. I don't know if this is against the terms and conditions. Probably is. I'm not advocating for violence, but I'm saying be careful and have a backup. I'm sorry, guys. That was a little mishap. We basically have a problem with the voltage in the house, and my wife connected the heater, and the power went out. So I apologize for that. I even forgot what I was saying. Thank you, Buma. Uh, how are you, man? And I appreciate what you guys were saying on the chat. Sadly, I'll have to go and revisit because, man, I lost my train of thought. But I was giving you advice on this situation. Um, do you hear me all right? Everything good? Yeah, it was not Rumble. Have not been censored so far. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. Yes, I'm shadow banned everywhere. So basically, it doesn't matter if I have 4,000, 5,000 subscribers. I almost have 5K here on Rumble. I have 8,000 on X. We have several people on X actually. There's like 70 people on X watching live, so that's nice. Um, I was showing you. You always have to have um, all sorts of different things scattered around the house. You never know where you're gonna be when you need them. And as you can see, for example, I still have it wrapped in plastic because what's the point of taking out the plastic? If I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna use it with the plastic and then take take the plastic off. No, um, but yeah, um, one thing that a lot of guys should have, in my opinion, is this. Mine are really set in the maximum. I'm already used to it. It's great for stress. You're just like, working, watching TV, playing something, and you're waiting for your turn, or this builds tons of strength in your hands. You need to have heavy hands if you're gonna fight. If you want to fight, tiny hands are not good. I have my fair share of experience. As you can see, all the scars. I've busted a few faces in my daytime, in my lifetime. And this is just for you. Obviously, you have to get in shape in different ways. But if you're at home busy, this is great. Just do it for stress and all day long and build strength in your tendons, increase the size of your hands. And, that's, some advice. Obviously, in America, you guys have guns, which is very nice. Um, but yeah, when shit hits the fan, you have weapons scattered all over the house, below furnitures, stuff like that. I have things stuck under my desk with a magnet. I'm not gonna say what. You probably know what I have here. It's here. Uh, I'm just gonna say it's not a nine. It's higher caliber. I have the knife here next to my in my library where I have my books and my stuff. I have the axe. I have a machete, a big knife, Bowie knife in my bedroom, and always tell my wife, "Listen, here are the weapons across the house," because she needs to know. I'm almost always with her because we both work from home. But sometimes I do leave to go do things in Lisbon, and I leave her alone for a day or two. And you never know. You never know. You have to always be ready. The In the current environment that we live in, it's best to head on a swivel, as I like to say, as you guys like to say as well. Anything can be a weapon, true, but things that are already made to be effective weapons, weapons of war. For example, now there's this store, this Nordic store. I believe it's from Denmark. They're making this awesome Viking weaponry, shields, like these big shields, super strong, and battle axes. I love collecting weapons. They're just beautiful. Um, I've never ever harmed anybody that was innocent. I did shot two guys in Costa Rica when they tried to invade my home. This was on two different occasions. In 2013, New Year's, and the other incident was in December 2021. Um, yeah, just shot them. The one in the head and the other one in the neck. Both died. Criminals. Police came. They saw it was self-defense, home invasion. Case closed. The worst side of it, I was in charge of cleaning my own house, obviously, picking shit up from the walls and gunk and stuff like that. So that's obviously like the most traumatic thing. A bit of PTSD. There's gonna be PTSD. Um, is Killing a person is horrible. It's not a nice thing to do. It's not. You're gonna be traumatized for a while. Even anybody. I think everybody goes through a PTSD phase where you revive the moment. In my case, what I have is that it has decreased, but I used to sleep with weapons under my pillow and always alert, always a bit paranoid. If I hear a noise, I immediately investigate. The other day, we were here at 2 a.m., my wife and I doing something. I don't know, watching a movie or something. And the bells of the church, we have a church, beautiful church, like 3 blocks away. And the bell sounded at 2 a.m. And my wife said, "That's very weird. What's happening?" And she said, "Someone might be asking for help or there might be a fire." So I told her, "Hey, okay, let's go and find out." Nobody gave a fuck here in the village. I was the only one who went out to check if everything was all right. What happened is that the rain fucked with the circuitry of the bells, and or there was a misconfiguration. We're not sure, but I think they told me it was the rain, and they sounded at 2 a.m. But I went there with a knife, and because it already happened that a band of Muslims robbed the local church. They robbed a bunch of things. Obviously, they have gold things and stuff, and it was a band of Moroccans. So I wanted to make sure that that wasn't the case. In this case of this man that came out to confront the stalker of his daughter, wear gloves. You have to have gloves just in case that you see yourself in some legal trouble, especially now that we are being prosecuted. Let's face it, police is against us, and I'm gonna show you what happened to to this friend from Tennessee. So you see how pervasive it is everywhere. It's not only in England, it's not only in Spain, it's not only in France. I've been warning you, my American friends. It was coming to a heat in your country as well. And what's happening in New York with the Muslims in Minneapolis and what is it? Detroit, Dearborn, right? Philadelphia, Patterson, New Jersey. That's where my mom was born. It's 10% Muslims, I think. So yeah, have gloves. They sell very cheap military gloves that have padding. So when you punch, it's gonna be harder, and you're not gonna damage your knuckles. When you punch someone, make sure that you place your hand correctly. There's a technique to for you to punch properly when you train boxing, they show you how to do it. Muay Thai, you have to learn how to do those things. Otherwise, you're gonna break your hand, injure yourself, and then you're gonna get fucked up. Especially if you're fighting two against one, so on. Wear gloves. Take out a backup weapon. And if you don't know if the guy's holding a weapon, what you need to do is do a bluff charge. A bluff charge is something that bears do. If you live in America, you would know. Grizzlies do this a lot. Black bears tend to be more vicious. When they attack you, it's usually to eat you. Grizzlies tend to bluff more for some reason, even though they're bigger. Because when you charge at someone, and if they have a weapon, they will immediately take it out. So you bluff charge this person. Obviously, if they have a gun, that's not a great idea. Here in Europe, criminals usually don't have guns, they have knives. In America, it's different. So you have to adequate yourself to where you are. You have to be smart. The thing with criminals is that they're usually not smart, especially the ones that are committing these crimes in the streets. Um, you bluff charge. If the person takes out the knife, you take out your knife. It's fair game. And try for the incident to be recorded by a camera that you own. You have to protect yourself legally, physically, every single time. Don't get overconfident. Don't assume that because the criminal is skinny or short or this or that he's harmless and you're gonna just run him over. Never underestimate the enemy. This is something that I've always told my wife. This is a must. Underestimating the enemy is mortal sin. Even if the person looks weak, you have to assume that they are strong because you don't want to underestimate them and get surprised. There are some people who are short, skinny, and they're freaking good fighters. You will be surprised. There's huge guys, even like bodybuilders, who look huge, strong, and they cannot fight for shit. it, it happens like that. So, yeah, what that father did, first of all, he was vulnerable to an attack, he was hesitant, and he didn't have a plan. He was, you know, I understand that women have been bombarded and poisoned, and our testosterone has gone to shit. Uh, I'm happy because I don't feel I'm that diminished in that sense. I don't know if it's because I grew up in Central America. Perhaps there was less poison there. So, I am very, very, very explosive when it comes to protecting someone I love or defending myself, or I just don't think. I see red, I don't freeze, and I act immediately. And when you act, you have to have a plan. You have to think your next three moves, basically, preferably. Never underestimate the enemy. And that's something that should be done when you're fighting one against one, two on one, three on one. In war, you don't never underestimate the enemy. Body language is everything as well. Yes, you can measure someone up by their demeanor. There's guys that there's all kinds of predators, but usually pedophiles and people that are out there looking to rape women in the street are not going to be your usual strong man. Obviously, they feed on preying on the weak. So it's not like let's let me take an example of someone that would commit a crime in a stronger way. Hmm. Well, it's not like these organized criminal gangs that go around. Um, I don't know, like for example, certain groups of Muslims Here in England, they are training. I've seen the videos, even receiving some kind of military training in their mosques with their, how's it called, the freaking priest that they have. Well, it's not a priest; it's a freaking pedophile warlock. But yeah, they're receiving military training. They're getting in shape. Apparently, they have weaponry that has been mullahs. Okay, that's probably it. They're even trafficking weapons that have been given to the United States and Europe to Ukraine, and the Ukrainians have been selling them to Muslims that are coming to invade Europe. So we have that situation going. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And if that would have been my daughter, you have to make a stand. You're not gonna come to stalk my daughter sexually, chase her to my house, and even challenge her and scream to her to come down and give you pussy. This is what the guy was screaming to the girl. That guy deserved to pick up his face from the floor. It's that simple. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm generally against violence. We should be. We should strive to be. But when it comes to defending your daughters, your wives, your mothers, your grandparents, your aunts, extremely decided. And just do it. Just freaking be as aggressive as you can. If you're gonna attack someone physically, it better be for a good reason. I'm not giving advice for you to do this to someone that has not done anything serious. But if you're gonna attack someone, don't underestimate the person. Don't hit them softly because he looks like a small guy, or go all in, go strong, and um, don't hesitate. Hello, Christopher. Let's see who else is here. I kind of lost the YouTube thing. What happened to Buma? Did he leave already? Let me see. I just want to make sure I say hi to everyone. Hello, Foggy. Okay, let me just. No, they didn't. They didn't boot me out for showing the axe, but that could have been a possibility. I tell you. Um, that's funny. um, let's see. A juxtaposition. That's funny, dude. Booma, the videos that you have been putting the shorts are great. I was really laughing a lot with the ones that you uploaded with juxtaposition, explaining why you guys had that falling out. Very funny indeed. Now, I got nothing. I wrote problem solver. You're 158 pounds. I used to be 175 back in 2013, 170. That was the skinniest I was. I was 150 pounds when I was like 20. When I was 27, 26, I was 175, and currently I'm sitting at 200, which is not bad. 200 is good. I'm 180, 180 meters, which is like 6 feet, I believe, 0 inches. So my ideal weight is like 185 pounds, 190, but still, 10 extra pounds is not bad. Let me see who else is here, what they wrote. Okay, I reached the end of the chat so far. Just wanted to make sure. So yeah, that's my advice. This is something that I wanted to show you guys as well because I'm gonna start posting tips about becoming your own private investigator, and I'm gonna probably do a few live streams explaining on how to do it. Um, I am a private investigator. I'm actually working two different cases right now. Very complicated one in England and Birmingham, to be specific, and an easier one from a lady in the United States that is trying to find a missing person. Um, this is a book by Ted Gunderson and Roger McGovern. It's titled "How to Locate Anyone Anywhere Without Leaving Home." Federal, state, and local records, genealogists, public libraries, computer databases, and much more. It's a bit outdated, but it's a good book to start. I already read it. There's some things that I got from here that I obviously added to my arsenal, useful. Other things they don't work anymore. This book was written in. Let's see if I can get a year. I mean, Ted Gunderson died like in 2012, and back. Okay, imagine that. This is from 1996. 1996. So for as far as technology and cyber intelligence and all that, this is not going to work. Very outdated, but good advice from a seasoned detective to find people. uh, we private detectives, private investigators, we usually get hired for mundane things. What do I refer with mundane? It's usually the most common thing is infidelity. So follow people, record when they enter a home, who lives there, take pictures, catch them in a restaurant. It's mostly sitting in the car for hours. It's a bit boring. You're gonna need to have everything ready. You cannot distract yourself because you're there waiting for the exact moment when these people show up so you can document the encounter. Obviously, it's all about results. Um, you have to take every case seriously. It doesn't matter if it's infidelity or if it's finding a missing child. Every case have to be assumed with the same seriousness. That's what professionals do, and that's how you should do it. If you do decide to become a PI, now if it's for your own research, for what we do, for investigating corruption and such, still useful. Now, when you are doing surveillance, basically you have to have everything ready. You cannot have distractions. You have to pick your parking spot very well. That's the most important part. Uh, Usually, the best way to do it when it's infidelity and things like that, or you're documenting some kind of crime or some kind of fraud or some kind of whatever, you follow the pattern. So you obviously follow this person for a few days. You write down. You have to always take notes, because if you are taking several cases, you're gonna forget details always, and any detail could solve a case. If, for example, right now I only take two or three cases at the same time. I don't take more than that because total disclosure already keeps me busy. But if I wasn't doing total disclosure and I was only doing PI, I would take 5, 7 cases. Now, you have to have everything ready. You have to have your food. You have to have your coffee. You have to have an empty bottle in case you need to pee. That happens. And if you're surveilling, you cannot, it's a risk. You cannot go and look for a restroom. You need to pee in a bottle. That's like the details that people don't know about being an investigator that are not like this James Bond, Dick Tracy kind of how do I put it, glamorous thing. It's not as glamorous as people think, but it's not boring. It's interesting. It's I like it a lot. I personally like it a lot. Um, let's check the chat real quick. I'm gonna be doing this every 5 minutes. Check the chat. Oh, my lovely wife is there. Um, I love you. Thank you for watching. So yeah. Oh, my wife is apologizing for the heater thing. I'm sorry. Okay. My love, I'm sorry for getting upset too. It happens. Shit happens. It doesn't matter anymore. We're back on the game. Uh, yeah, more. Okay. Yes, I have some white hairs. She has two. It's my fault. Her white hairs. Now I'm laughing a lot. We've been married for 3 wonderful years, 3.5, and it's been wonderful. It's been life changing. I met her during COVID in 2020, and a week or 2 weeks after we met, I was already talking to her about getting married and having kids. It's just when the right one comes, for the most part. Uh, yes, we men are rough with this stress. But yeah, um, I'm happy. I'm happy to see my wife pop up. As you can see, uh, I'm very much in love still. So as I was saying, I lost my train of thought again. Okay, the detective stuff. It's usually to find out fraud cases, infidelity, missing persons. There's more complicated cases like financial fraud that requires more professionalism. You have to contact a bunch of agencies. You have to document every single thing, every single thing. But pretty much, if you have been doing your own research and you're serious about it, that's what we do. We document every single thing. Me personally, I have a huge hard drive full of pictures, full of videos, full of notes that help me keep me organized. I actually need to reorganize everything, um, but I'm gonna show you a bit how I have things organized. Okay, let me open this folder here. Let me share the screen. Uh, I have a folder here that is called "Fucked Around and Find Out." Okay, so obviously I have like this is my temporary folder, uh, and this is the downloads folder. So here I obviously have like 600 things here that I need to order properly. So this is the total disclosure folder, and I don't want to show you more than I should, but here is the videos, the documentaries by other people that I upload on the website. I have everything pretty much ordained. Trailers pending, not added yet, done. Audibles, these are books that I still need to upload to the website. These are things from the website, backups, accounting, CSR. This is taking the things from the customers, plugins, all that. Threads, temporary files. This is crazy. You guys are not. I need to order this. I need to sort this out. This is a mess. I have basically 11 temporary folders full of pictures, each one with 1,000 pictures, 2,000. And then these are the temporary folders of videos. I have 10 of them. It's a disaster. I advise you that if you're gonna get into this, don't let this accumulate. This is what you shouldn't do. Try to sort things out. Sort things out once a week. Don't let a month pass by, because then it's gonna turn into 2 months, then 3 months. You're gonna get. It's gonna be daunting to start doing it. Right now, the only way I can do this, I need to have enough time, having put out enough content for me to take a week off to only do this. It's gonna be hell when I start doing this. Hell. It's just too much stuff. And obviously, I like to be organized, so I like to name things properly. Let's see if I have something something interesting around here. I have tons of different things around here. Interesting. Okay, sorry, survivors. Well, I don't know. They're not named. Oh, the good old Isaac Cappy. Let's play this one just to remember good old times.
It's been going on a lot. Yeah, Sarah is very brave. Oh yeah, Tom Hanks. Tom fucking Hanks, guys. Pedophile. Called out, no response. No. I'm not even gonna talk about Spielberg, who, by the way, Steven Spielberg is a pedophile. Yep. See how easy that was, Corey? I didn't need $10 million. I just said it. But what I want to get into is, I want to get into like the bigger picture of how this stuff is all connected. Because when you're talking about like really elite levels, the name of the game is blackmail. So they want something on you that they can hold over your head so they can basically own you and tell you what to do. And they film it. And then they own you. So that's what runs the whole system, basically. They want compromised people because they're easy to control. And a lot of people, they'll just go along with it and do whatever just for fame or money or accolades or any of that stuff. I don't understand it. People are just like really into the evil shit. Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also a pedophile. Tom Hanks, folks, is a pedophile. I'm sorry if this is the kind of bursting your bubble. All this information is new, but it's time that this comes out into the open, because we are going to change the way everything works. Because at the top levels of wealth, of power, the very top levels, these people are just sick and psycho. Look into the Rothschild family. Do some research. You heard it's cannibals. Yeah, there is cannibalism. The higher you go, the more sick it gets. Peterwood has been happening for a very long. Yes, it has. A very, very, very long time. And this is the thing. This is what really hurts about the situation, because a lot of people are kind of born into this. They grow up in it. They are abused. And through the abuse, especially as a child, you can break someone's subconscious mind. If you're not aware of any of this stuff, look into MK Ultra. I heard Bronfman has Fiji. Oh, yeah. By the way, Bronfman, if you don't know who that is, Claire Bronfman, she's a heiress for Seagram's, the liquor company, and she got arrested yesterday. Oh, Jimmy Savile. Yes, I'm getting into that. That's on my notes here. That's in my notes. The royal family. Yeah. Jimmy Savile raped and murdered hundreds of kids over the course of 3 decades or longer. No one ever looked into it. And he hung out with the royal family. He was knighted. And the reason I want to talk about Jimmy,
He was knighted, and he was the marriage advisor for Prince Charles and Princess Diana without ever being married himself. So, just a parenthesis.
Savile, is because this guy, Mark Thompson, he runs the New York Times. Now, Mark Thompson was head of the BBC for years and years and years. They covered up allegations. They covered up abuse. They let him run rampant, and they just covered it up. So this guy, Mark Thompson, is at BBC, and then he goes over to the New York Times. Now think about it. If someone like that is running a giant media organization, what are they going to say? What are they going to tell you? Are they going to tell you the truth? No. No, they're not going to tell the truth. That's why when people say the news is fake, it's because it's run by these people who are into some very, 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 very sick stuff. I want to, what else do we got here? Elsa Gate. Please, 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 I want you guys to research and look about Elsa Gate. Elsa Gate is one of the most evil things I've ever encountered in my life. It's making videos on YouTube with traumatic triggers that actually rewire people's, or not people, but like little babies. It rewires their subconscious to be more receptive and open to being abused. It is absolutely sick. I posted something on Twitter yesterday, but that hashtag is so suppressed. It's nuts. And again, I know this might be coming as a shock to a lot of you. Like, you had no idea because, we're around the media. You're told who to trust, who to like. And the people who are telling you who to like are compromised. The people, the actors, the musicians, everybody, those people are compromised at the top levels. It's really bad. And it's when it hits you, it's hard. I mean, I didn't know. It took the situation punching me in the face before I realized I was in the middle of some crazy fucking shit. And, most people are good, and they want to trust, and they can't even imagine that kind of an evil exists. And that helps them cover it up. We have been brainwashed for our whole lives. If you want to do research on Operation Mockingbird, that's been going on, 50 years. What happened that caused you to go public? Well, you know what? I couldn't take it anymore. Something came over me on set. I saw the gun allegations, and I saw him like, oh, they're just jokes. I'm like, bro, I know who you are. I know you. I've met you, a number of times. I don't know gun that well, but I'm like, you're a fucking liar, dude. And I just watched them. They lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. And I watched it. I'm like, okay, that's And I just, something hit me. There was a hostage situation at the supermarket near my house, and there was like tons of helicopters flying over. I don't know, something like inside of me just activated, and I was like, you know what? I'm fucking doing this. I'm going down to Comic-Con right now, and I'll tell these motherfuckers like, yo, if I'm a liar, call me a liar to my face. Right? Have I crossed paths with Lloyd Kaufman? I don't know if I've met Lloyd.
Well, it goes on like that. We'll have to actually do a dive on Isaac Cappy. Isaac Cappy was murdered on May 13th, 2019. And I was already fully involved in this when this happened. Uh, I like to think that I'm a bit of a veteran. It's been 8 years, 8 years, 7 years doing this. And when I started doing this, it was crazy. Because everything, you're just finding stuff every single day. You're getting shocked every single day. Isaac is dearly missed. I spoke with him a few times. I've shared this with Puma. One of the most difficult cases I've worked because of the manipulation, the control of position, the LARPs, all the people that were involved in covering this up is crazy. It's a lot of people, it seems. Satanic networks that collaborate with Hollywood and the music industry and fashion are way more pervasive than you think, and they're way bigger than you would expect. We tend to, as Isaac said, we tend to think that these things are a lie because we want to believe that people are good and that the world we live in is safe, and that's not entirely true. That's not true at all. Um, well, let's be honest. It's safe depending on where you live, and it's safe depending on how you behave, your conduct. If you are into risky situations, if you are putting your life in danger out there, you're more likely to get caught into one of these situations. And if you are in the entertainment industry, like I was, you're gonna have very close brushes with people that are involved in this. There's gonna be people that you think they're involved in this and they're not. It's pure posture, it's pure looks. There's gonna be people that you would never suspect that they're involved in this, and they are the worst of the worst. So, image and how people portray themselves in public, oftentimes more than not, means nothing. The best killers, meaning the most effective, the most dangerous, the best killers, the best predators are the ones that tend to look inoffensive. One example. I'll give you two examples. Ted Bundy. He was a guy, one of the most notorious serial killers in history. I believe he started his career in Washington, the state of Washington, and he was arrested a couple times. He escaped once, I believe. Even police detained him once and they let him go. He was finally arrested in Florida, and if I'm not mistaken, he was executed there. He used to wear a fake cast, portrayed himself as he was injured to gain the confidence of his victims. That's what he used to do. Usually, predators don't like to look intimidating. They like to portray themselves as weak, as harmless, as someone that you can trust. Jeffrey Dahmer is another example. He was a predator. Well, just to specify, Ted Bundy focused on women, mostly prostitutes or college students. Um, if obviously if you're out there partying all the time, if you're into the sex trade, if you are always coming off late from work, if you're working hotels, motels, casinos, um, these are places of high risk. Why? Because people can surveil you without you noticing, especially places where there's a lot of people coming in and out. And one thing that serial killers always do, yes, he was in the bloodlines, he was MK Ultra, SRA, and a lot of serial killers have been part of this mind control experiments. Uh, Jeffrey Dahmer was also part of that. John Wayne Gacy, the clown, he was a Freemason. He was part of a satanic cult. This is a fact that is not known for most people. He had a network of people that collaborated with him. He was protected by politicians. It's insane. You have the case of the son of Sam. I believe his name is Berkowitz. Let me see. Let me just make sure because I don't like giving you wrong information. And now I'm going into old memories because I did. David Berkowitz, yes. I studied. Yes, cojones. Don't worry. We'll talk to you later. Thank you for being here. You were amazing. We have to see each other. Galicia is beautiful. I want to go there. My family's from Spain, France, and Spain, and Italy, so it's a must. But we'll talk to you later, and hopefully we'll meet someday. So as I was saying, I was when I left high school, I studied psychology and forensics. I was obsessed with forensics. I wanted to be someone that I had already, even when I wasn't a Christian and not knowing about these things, I was obsessed with hunting serial killers. And I had bought this huge encyclopedia of serial killers with all their history, their backgrounds, some forensic evidence, some analysis by. It was an awesome book. I think I had someone stole it from me, but I that's how I basically did my first investigations. Making annotations. I did study some forensic science in university, so that helped a lot, obviously, to prepare me for what I do now. And subsequently, I got my private investigator license in 2019 after Isaac died. But yeah, that was terrible. What happened to him? So here I have the studio, which is something that this is my personal preference. I have some marketing stuff here, I guess like videos and stuff. So the studio is like the things that I edit, the videos that I put out, the projects that are pending, podcasts. This is the Premiere Adobe file. So, I have here the weekly reports. As you can see, like 111 of them. Actually, I lost the first 10 episodes. I lost at least the editing files, but everything has to be very well organized. So you can find everything quickly and don't get overwhelmed. Let's do it, Carl. Let's do to Galicia. I want to go to Galicia. There's several places in Spain that I want to meet, but you guys should come to Portugal as well. It's awesome. Sounds like a plan. I stopped doing the weekly report after I left Good Lion. I just, I because I needed to create my own website, I kind of had to delay a lot of things, and there I focused on Louder Than Love. but this is daunting. If you don't have everything organized, you're just gonna go crazy. Clips, testimonials, blah blah, monologues, blind items, films. These are my films, so I have all the series here. I also am missing some files, as you can see here. I had a big accident with my hard drive and my laptop in 2021, and I lost a bunch of things from my early days, which is a shame. I even lost some interviews that I had with some witnesses. Never, ever, ever have just one backup. Never, ever, ever. Because your laptop, your PC can be hacked anytime, can be stolen, can get damaged. Laptops nowadays, especially Windows, complete pieces of crap. Complete crap. Not only the software security wise, privacy wise, they are not built to run big programs, heavy programs, and function properly. It's it's just, it is what it is. I want to change and start using Mac for editing, but you have everything organized, you have everything well. It's easy to find. If you need to fix a video or create a short from it or whatever, everything has to be tidy. But this is just for you to get an idea. I have my private investigator stuff here. Cannot show you that; it's confidential. All the folders must be password protected. When you are working a case, it has to be absolutely confidential. You might, of course, if you're married, you might comment something here and there with your wife. To listen a different perspective, but anyone outside of that, no. Nobody can see anything, nobody can know anything. You can put in risk the whole case by doing that. Notes, all kinds of notes, different people. I keep records on everyone. Alex Jones, Anthony Bourdain, you know, it goes on and on. David Geffen, David Icke, David Spade, David Wilcock. You have to have everything like this, and don't let the temporary files grow out of control. Drafts, transcripts, contacts. Um, Here's some cases that I worked in Costa Rica. In Costa Rica, I dismantled human child sex trafficking operation that was using underage prostitutes, well, underage victims, to be trafficked to these fishing boats. So these guys were selling the tours for Americans and Canadians to come and fish to Costa Rica in a boat, because it's very famous for that, to go and fish marlins, red snappers, uh, yellowfin tuna, all of that. But this boat was essentially a brothel of underage victims. So I worked in that while in Costa Rica. I cannot show you that either, but I have different things, and I'm just gonna show you quickly. Media for different uses, like free of copyright media, images, music, footage, things that you can use as fillers for certain videos, and so on. These are all my exported files. So as you can see, I have all my films here. This is a big collection. Let's put a list. It's easier. So yeah, like 467 items and stuff like that. So it's not my first rodeo. Been doing this for a while. It's just that after censorship, the thing about rebuilding your audience is that when you take vacations, you take a time off, or they ban you, people just move on. Most people, obviously, there's very loyal people that will follow you for years and look for you even if you disappear for a while. But when they banned me the first time, I had like a period of no activity of about, I want to say, I was active, but not as active for around 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. That was brutal. I got 3 Facebook accounts banned, 3 Twitter accounts banned. One was reopened when Elon bought it. Obviously, I'm super shadow banned. I had 3 Instagram accounts taken out already, 3 YouTube accounts taken out. I've had 3 bank accounts closed, Patreon banned, PayPal. I've had 3 accounts banned. My wife's, mine, and one that was under my dad's name with his permission, obviously. Um, what else? Telegram. I've had like 5 accounts banned. It's crazy. Instagram. Wait, what am I missing? There was another one that you would think that they don't ban people, but they do. Whatever. But yeah, so you have to try to be constant if you want to start doing this. It's a bit saturated already. But if you want to start doing this, I'm just trying to give you like an idea on how it looks. If you're a writer, if you like to publish articles, then you have a blog section on your folder. And this is my design folder. So I have some images I've created via AI, um, which is for the most part what I use it the most. I also use it to put subtitles on my videos nowadays. I have here some art for Bible verses. These are my film covers. So everything neat and organized. It's easy to find and easy to use. Podcast quotes, weekly disclosure, all of that. And then I have my archives, which is basically what I wanted to show you mainly. I have records on all these people, pictures, um, records from Truth Finder, which is a website that charges like $20 per month, and you have the right to download. I believe it's 50 or 100 files from different people. So if you use it like for a year, you can easily have records on everyone, and that's what I did. Obviously, we have to spend a lot of money to do what we do. As Buma was telling you, you have to pay for StreamYard, you have to pay for software, Adobe Premiere, DaVinci, whatever you use. You have to pay, well, if you're into using AI for design. I'm not much of a graphic designer, so AI helps. So I pay seven euros per month for a basic AI to make pictures and some extra features for research, like you can never trust one source. You have to always use 2 3 sources, and from there you know decide if the information is reliable. um, then you have miscellaneous. So I have here like artificial intelligence, banking, big pharma, big tech, BlackRock, cannibalism, media matrix, calorie plan, human trafficking, Zionism. These are things that I've built across 7 years. So there's a bunch of crazy stuff here, from things that you cannot find on the internet anymore. And yes, I agree with Carl. Watching paint dry, it's like watching the control position content. Life insurance, this is my dead man switch. This is files that I did specifically to be released if something happened to me when I was confronting certain people that were very menacing or litigious, like Gabe Hoffman, like Sasha Stone, like David Geffen. I had things on them. The thing is that when people say that we keep some evidence to ourselves, or that we're uh, withholding information, it's not that, guys. It is that when you are doing this, and if your life has been threatened and you have some stalking going on, or surveillance, or honeypot attempts. Depends on who you're fucking with. Pardon my French. You have to take measures for protection. In this case, obviously, what is a dead man switch? It's something that you can hold over someone's head if they're threatening your life. So, for example, with Gabe Hoffman, we had a huge feud in 2020. He's the one guilty for the platform. I was basically the platform because of anti-Semitism, because he's a Jew, and because I was exposing him. He said that I was an anti-Semite. Have in mind that back then I barely spoke about Zionism. I knew what it was. I spoke about it once or twice, but nothing like today, like nowadays. You couldn't talk about it without getting banned. It was a very restricted subject. So when you are going after someone like that, you have to hold something over them and say, hey, just to let you know, because there's usually communication between you and these people. When you are exposing them, they threaten you, they with lawsuits, they hire people to make videos about you, to discredit you, to accuse you of different things. Obviously, in the beginning of my career, I made tons of mistakes. That happens. You cannot beat yourself over that. It's a learning curve. Um, so you tell them, hey, I have something on you. If you want to tell them what it is, I usually recommend not saying what it is specifically or give a small hint that can be confused with something else and be a bit ambiguous. They're tricky, they're sneaky. You are not obliged to be frontal and honest with bad people. That's a rule of thumb. In your daily life with normal people, always be straight up. But when you're dealing with these criminals, with these liars, with these deceivers, schemers, you have to play their game. So, that's a good advice to always have this if you're being threatened or followed or stalked or harassed. Um, True crime, I have some true crimes here. I have a huge meme collection, very funny memes. Like, I would like to share a bunch of these things with some of you guys, but, you know, let's see. Let's see what I have around here. Spanish, red pill. Uh, some folders are, as you can see, they're not that full. Some things I have here on the outside. But yeah, so you save a bunch of things here and there. Here's the everything I have about Nick to expose Nick Albier. Obviously, something that happened a long time ago. And he's also a bit disorganized because I just lost interest. This guy is such a clown and such an interesting that, it's just not worth it. Now, I've been showing you a bunch of things that are not the main subject of the live stream. I hope that that's not a problem, but I'm gonna show you now what happened today. And what happened today is that I had seen a video of this guy like a month ago. This is man, I keep forgetting his nickname. What's his nickname? Chuck. So what happened with this guy is that a month ago he put out this video. Let me show you.
Yeah, keep talking shit and I'ma show you.
It's the usual
And I'ma
suspect.
show you. Don't say a motherfucking thing to my kids.
I wonder who pissed her off. She's chimping out. Chimping out.
Hell yeah, man. Bitch, don't say shit to my kids.
She's chimping out.
Pretty harmless video, right? What do you guys think? That's a harmless video. Uh, yep, that's a meme catalog. So this man, he's basically making an observation of a bad behavior that we know that happens very often with these people. Now, there's a lot of Karens that do this as well. Uh, we usually, let's be fair. We conservatives usually don't involve ourselves in this bullshit. We don't do scandals in public. We avoid that. I personally believe that to to break the peace, to alter public order, is such poor taste. You have children around, you have elderly. Nobody wants to listen to your bullshit. If you're having a bad day, I don't know, go do some exercise. Stay at home, even. Don't go out. Of course, there's people that need to go out on the worst of days. And then, I'm not going to say I've never thrown a tantrum in my life. That would be a lie. But I was very young. And I cannot remember. I cannot even remember me doing something like this. Now, what happened to this man? Because of this video, because he said that she was chimping out. Listen, I understand the racist connotation. We're not stupid. Now, please, chimping out is not necessarily something that is exclusive of black people. It can be white people. It can be Latinos, Hispano-Americans, like myself. I'm basically Hispano-American, descendant from Spanish, French, and Italian. Some Greek in there too. Celt as well. Apparently, I did a DNA test a long time ago. But yeah, everyone can behave like a caveman, cavewoman, a chimp. Everyone can chimp out. Listen, if words hurt you this bad, where you go around and ruin this man's life because he did that innocent video. This is what happened to this guy. This is an image. He was talking with Paul Miller, the Gypsy Crusader, who also got his life ruined after he was beaten up by Antifa, like 8 against 1. So that's horseshit. If you're gonna beat people 8 against 1, you're a piece of shit. It's that simple. I've never done that in my life. But this is what happened to this man because of that video a month ago. They took my job, so I started a company. They continued to locally cancel me. The contractors I worked with got scared of death threats through our job sites. Were going to be shut up, cut all ties with me. Then they started sending me more threats, made it where it's not safe for my son to live with me anymore. Then they contacted my church. I was Orthodox catechumen for 2 years, so he was looking forward to get baptized. And right before being baptized, which is a goal, my wife is trying to get baptized as well, because her parents were liberals, so she never got baptized. I already baptized, so I don't need to do that. If you're a Christian, you know how much it means to be baptized. Whatever. They banned me from the church. What kind of church does that? What the hell is going on in America? What the hell is going on? Over this, all of this, over saying she's chimping out. So I lost my job, my son, and my baptism all due to my refusal to forfeit my right to free speech. Now I'm harassed everywhere I go. I started recording all of the chimp outs. Now I'm going viral. They took down my IG account at 38,000. Yesterday, my ex went from 500 followers to 30K in less than 24 hours. Bye, Christopher. Thank you for being here. We'll talk to you later. I know it's been a long stream. It's been 2 hours, but we're in for a long one today. It's been a while since my last stream, so we're gonna make this one count. I don't go with this shit, okay? I don't go with this shit. And I'm sorry to be crass, because I know it's not the most classy way of saying things, of putting things together. This is a no-go. Canceling people, that's why I told when they were canceling liberals, what was it for? I don't know, 2 months, 3 months ago, liberals did something as idiotic. Someone did something idiotic on the left, and conservatives were canceling this person, trying to get it fired. I don't even remember what it was. What I do remember is that I told people this is not good. We're doing exactly what these people did to us during COVID and else, just because we're conservatives. We have always been canceled. You know, when you do this back to them, you're basically saying, okay, this is fair game now. And this is against the Constitution, the American Constitution, the First Amendment. I don't care what people say to you. You're not gonna kill them. You're not gonna threaten their lives. What the fuck is wrong with you? And get them fired, kicked out of church, and have problems with their kids over a word. Are you just that dumb, insecure, useless, cowardly that you need to ruin a person's life because a word that is protected by the First Amendment, racist or not? And let's talk racism. Today, I decided to defend and promote this guy's Give, Send, and Go and show him some support. I want to bring him to the podcast. Let's see if he comes. I said, okay, listen, I'm gonna see what I can do for this guy, because this doesn't sit well with me. I read what happened. I immediately reached out. I said, this is not right. This happened to me in the past 5 years ago. It was very bad because it was during COVID, and people helped me a lot. They gave me moral support. There was a lady that she said, "Hey, listen, I know that you live with your mom. I'm gonna send you enough money for this month so you can pay your bills." This was in the middle of COVID, when nobody was working, business were closed, parks were closed. There was no way of making money, so they shut me down in the middle of it. And obviously, when I see these things happen, it reminds me of what they did to me. Um, let's talk racism. Today I got called cracker and saltine and white nigga and um, what else? Nazi. What else? All kinds of insults. Probably some 200 times. I got several death threats. I'm gonna show you some. But the point is that when people call me cracker, white nigger, or saltine, I laugh. Why would I get so upset? I don't know who this person is. What's cracker? What do I smoke crack? No, I don't. Never did actually. Never did. Um, well, actually, I did twice. I did twice when I was 17. Um, you know, terrible influences in high school. I tried heroin when I was 16, so very young. But I'm not gonna get offended over this nonsense. I'm not gonna, obviously, not gonna do the work of getting someone fired of their jobs or lose custody of their kids or getting kicked out of church because they call me a cracker. I'm also not gonna come and beat them up in numbers. I'm not even gonna beat them up one on one. I don't care if you call me cracker through the internet. Are you nuts? It's just, what is wrong with these people? What is this notion, this mob mentality that can destroy people's lives over nonsense like this? So yeah, I decided to dedicate this live stream to this because obviously the main reason was to support the man. I am into supporting all my Christian brothers and white people. Why? I support everyone. But if you're a criminal, if you're a thug, if you're out there canceling people and doing this mob bullshit, I don't like you. I don't give a fuck about you. You're doing horrible things with your life. You're a coward. What the hell, man? I received like 200 death threats. Not because I said chimping, not because I said the N word. I didn't say the K word that they use for the Jew. No, I didn't say black people are this. This is exactly what I said. And let me show you my Twitter account, which must be full of threats right now. Yeah, I have like 20, like must be like 100 notifications. So this is what I posted. Weird. And my reader is saying that there's 180 people here, but I don't know in which platform because Rumble and YouTube don't have that many, but for some reason here it says 180. And now that I check Twitter, I see that I don't know, nobody's watching unless like there is something else going on. Weird. Whatever. At this point. Okay. So this is, let me see where I posted. Oh, this is one of the threats that I got. Comparing how they killed Charlie Kirk, if he's really dead or whatever happened. These are the kind of messages I received today. Um, this is the thing. They want us dead, and I didn't say the word. I simply backed up someone else who did. They hate us, and they are united in that. We need to unite and send them back to Africa. Hey, listen, I'm not perfect. I get angry too. But hear me out. They kicked us from Africa, okay? Almost no white people live in Africa. In South Africa is where you have the most white people. We left them to their own device. Why everyone in the world that is not white or Christian, talking Hindus, Jews, Muslims, talking blacks, South Americans, Central Americans, when they enter illegally to America, I don't agree with that. They should try it and go legally. I'm against illegal migration, doesn't matter who it is, and I'm from Costa Rica. So you see, I'm actually unbiased. So all these people that claim that I'm this and that I'm a racist, that I'm an asshole, no, you're the asshole. You're accusing me of things that are not true. I'm unbiased. I put my money where my mouth is. I don't defend my people from Costa Rica or whatever because they enter illegally to America. Just like I wouldn't defend white people if they go illegally to I don't know, Japan, for example. I am an equal opportunity guy. I don't discriminate. A criminal is a criminal. An invader is an invader, no matter the color of the skin. Added to this, people say, oh, most pedophiles are white people. Well, yeah, used to. When we were the majority, I would say, maybe, perhaps. And what kind of pedophiles have I been denouncing for like 5 of the 7 years I've been doing this, with some exceptions? Exceptions like R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, who is a Jew, R. Kelly is black, Diddy is black, um, all the rest of pedophiles that I've denounced are mostly white people. Satanists, Bill Clinton, who is not a Jew, George Bush, who is not a Jew, Harvey Weinstein is a Jew, but it's not my fault that they are pedophiles. I'm simply reporting their crimes. I don't care where they come from. And this was, let's see. It's just that I posted so much crap today. Okay. This is what I posted. This dude stood out for what's right, and because he said a word, he got canceled from everything. He needs support. As someone who was canceled in 2020 and lost all my platforms, my bank account, my job, and even my father due to the vaccine, I fully identify with his plea and stand by him. Another fellow crusader victimized by the communist anti-white mob. Do you see a racist insult in there anywhere? I'll just wait. I'll just wait. And if there's a platform that I hooked up to this that it has over 150 viewers, I don't know, maybe I did because it says 187 on my counter right now. I would like for any of these liberals, socialists, woke people, black people that are very angry with me because of this tweet. What did I do to you? What did I say that was so terrible for you to threaten my life, to say that my dead father is burning in hell, to wish that I get arrested or fired from my job if I have a job? I didn't say any racist thing here. I didn't even mention any demographic. I didn't even say anything about white people. These people hate this guy so much, this guy, that they made it a goal to destroy and harass every single person showing support to him. Are these people insane? Isn't this like criminal gang stalking behavior over nothing? This cannot be, guys. And let's see the second video. This is the video that went viral from 2 days ago. 2 days ago or a day ago. Let's see. 2 days ago, actually.
They chimping out. He chimping out. He said, "What's the issue?" Because I looked at him. Chimping out. He chimping out.
Put that phone down.
Why?
That phone down.
You don't like looking ugly?
Put that phone down, bitch ass boy.
Shut up, nigger. Come on, come do something. Come do something.
Put that phone
Pull
down.
up.
Oh, he got found.
Yeah, yeah. Walk up.
Found.
Alright.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, alright.
They chimping out. They chimping out. Dumbass niggers. Yeah, turn your fucking music down and don't park in the fire lane no more. That's what we're talking about. Don't park in the fire lane no more. Dumbass nigger. Chimping out.
What's happening,
Look,
cuz?
they parked in the fire lane, chimping out.
I'm right here.
You better get out of my face.
I'm right here.
Get out of my face, boy.
Hey, I'm
That's what I thought,
talking about this
nigger.
bitch, cuz.
That's
I'm
what I
not
thought,
with none of
nigger.
that. I'm not with none of
Dumbass
that.
nigger.
You know what the fuck it
He's
is,
chimping
cuz.
out.
I'm not with none of that.
Look
You
at him,
up
he's
our
chimping
who,
out.
cuz? Wait till I fuck wrong with you, bitch ass nigga.
They
So this created an environment on Twitter that I wanted to show to you. Why? Because I know that a lot of people are not on board yet with reality. I was pretty much against, and even recently, against any kind of tribalism, like, we white people must be united, like this and that. I actually was talking about Christians mainly. And I still think like that because, to be honest, if you're not a criminal, if you're not a thug, if you don't endorse or participate in gang stalking, I have nothing against you. I still feel that we as peoples of the world equals in the eyes of Christ, all of us, but not equals in reality, in humanity, in the way the world history has developed. All of us should have our own countries. Why? Just look at what's happening in the world. Open your eyes. Crime is insane. Cities that used to be an example to the world of safety today are hunting grounds for criminals, pickpocketers, rapists, grooming gangs, traffickers, you name it. And we have people that believe that because I support a white guy that was canceled from everything unfairly for using his First Amendment right. Now, I do recognize this last video was more aggressive. Perhaps he was taunting a bit. Still, why are they gonna threaten you with violence? There's no reason for that. Why are they gonna come at you 2-on-1? Why is this guy harassing a customer of the store, cursing at him and threatening him with his uniform, and the police is trying to arrest this man instead? Why? How come? I would like to know. I would like to know the reasoning. So I've said my fair share of harsh things about the migration situation because it's destroying everything. It's happening in Japan. It's happening in Australia. It's happening in South Korea. It's happening in my country, Costa Rica, where we have cartels invading Colombians, Venezuelans, Ecuadorians, you name it, Brazilians, Mexicans. Countries have usually the capacity to deal with their own criminals. When you import a massive amount of criminals from other countries with different cultures, especially, that are going to be preconditioned to hate the population of that country, the native population, and forget about America belonged to the Native Americans. The Native Americans don't own America anymore. I'm sorry. Listen, Americans, white people, I'm talking about white people, have owned America since the 1500s, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the divide is part of social engineering. That's absolutely true. Still, we all have free will. Just because you were brainwashed or manipulated to hate other people shouldn't mean you should. We all have the capacity to think and rationalize. But this conduct of gang stalking, of death threats, because they're going to show you the death threats, this is full of shit. Look. So the post has like 2,000 likes. You know, let's see what threats we find here. Let's look at them in real time. There's obviously people that support us. I don't know if this is one of them. Brainwashed. Yeah. This is someone calling us brainwashed. Us. Us. Who are we? What law are we breaking? What racist word did I say to you guys that you're so angry and calling me brainwashed? Why cannot I show solidarity to someone that has lost his job, access to his son, his company, and his church? Are you that thick that you think that you can come at me, threaten my life, threaten my church too, because they want to cancel me from my church? Good luck. I live in Portugal. They want me to not have a job. They want me to die. They want me to burn in hell. You know, it's crazy. You see, you lost everything, laughing my ass off. You all get what you all deserve. A real man takes his L on the chin and keeps moving. But look at you, still up here bitching and fucking crying. Blah blah blah. I'm not replying to these people. Screw them. I don't have time for that. Yes, exactly. Exactly, MB. And that I told this to one of the black guys who was actually a decent guy. White people park in the fire lane all the time and we mind our business. Yeah, you mind your business. That's why you're here. But yes, obviously, this is the thing. I'm talking about thug behavior, gang stalking, racism against whites. If people are not criminals, if they're not into canceling people over this nonsense, gang stalking, this is what I consider gang stalking. Coming in droves of 1,000 people to insult people, threaten them. I don't give a shit. For me, this has happened to me before. I'm used to it. I've been canceled. This is not going to affect me at all. But this was also a social experiment. I wanted to show you, my friends, at the expense of having to deal with this criminal gang stalkers, how things are with the world, what people really feel about white Americans, about people that are proud about their origins, about their family, about their country, about their culture, whatever. Hello, Clarity. Welcome aboard. Guys, you're fucked up in the head. This is not about race. And listen, we have been super welcoming with you guys. We have not been racist. We have not been abrasive for a long time. And this divide started getting worse and worse and worse and worse post 2006, 2007. In the 90s, I don't remember this being such a thing. It was nicer. I actually miss the 90s because of that as well. Nobody gave a fuck about politics for the most part. I I personally I don't give a fuck about politics that much. I actually don't follow politics anymore because I think it's theater. I think it's a scam. I think it's two wings of the same bird. The left does things quicker. The right is drip, 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 drip. Same bullshit, just slower. But now here we are. Is there going back? I don't know. It seems like they're dividing us more and more. For example, the Charlie Kirk thing. You have this psychological operation blaming liberals and trans people over that murder. When we all know, and everything signals out to be, two possibilities. Number one, Charlie Kirk was murdered in a conspiracy where Satanists, Zionists, FBI, CIA, Israeli intelligence, and Mormons and Freemasons collaborated to murder him. Not liberals. Okay? I don't believe and I don't like when we blame people of other people's crimes. That's horseshit. Liberals have nothing to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk. Were they aggressive towards him? Did they threaten him afterwards? Have they mocked that he died afterwards? Yes. Some people really have rotten ethics out there. They behave like criminals. Second possibility, Charlie Kirk is not even dead and he's somewhere else collecting his millions and laughing his ass off as he's part of the cult and the conspiracy to fake his death, to use it as a psychological operation to make worse the murder of the division between black and whites and nationals and Americans, nationals and migrants, and blacks and whites, and conservatives versus liberals. Is all this together. Now, I think and I believe that he was murdered. That's my opinion. By who? Mainly Israel. And Donald Trump knows about it, and Kash Patel knows about it, and putting the 33 number everywhere in the case tells a story of sacrifice, of mockery, of witchcraft, of bullshit. This situation, it's so poisonous. And listen, I am a conservative. You guys know, those who know me, you know I'm a Christian, you know that I'm a nice guy, you know that, you know, I'm not this criminal that these people think I am. I'm not this monster. But I've said things. Yes, I've said things, especially against Islam, against Zionism, that are discriminatory. And I will, I admit it. My face is here. I'm not a coward. I've studied enough history. I'm a cultured man. I'm not some fucking ignorant whatever that you want to think. I know my history, European, American, African. I know about all about the colonies. I'd like to study that to understand the current psychology of the world, to know how to handle myself when debating someone. It's important. Now, what Trump is doing with this fucking division, blaming the left, trying to ignite a civil war on multiple fronts between blacks and whites, between migrants and nationals, between liberals and conservatives. It's inherently demonic. And listen, I supported the guy until 2021. I tried as hard to think that there was a chance that he was a good guy until he killed all my hopes. It ain't my fault. I am not the evil one that is betraying the right. I hate is that he's always being a liberal, always being a Trump hater. Nope, that's not true. Oh, this guy, he hates all black people. He's racist. No, that's not true. I've been notorious for defending black people against white people as well. The other day, there was a Christian priest preaching in England. I believe it was in London, a black priest, and there was this drunk. He was drunk as a sailor. This drunk white British guy heckling him. Why? Because he's probably semi-demonic possessed or who knows what. Angry. Very angry because the poor man, the poor priest, the poor pastor, the poor person that is there trying to share the Bible, uh, to try to make someone's day, just harassing the guy. I defended the priest. I sent him an email with words of support, with solidarity, telling him, hey man, I'm sorry about what happened. That was horrible. I'm glad that some people were there to defend you. If you ever need anything, contact me back. I'm Orthodox, but regardless, if you're Protestant, whatever, we can talk. Do you ever see me, for example, complaining about Japanese people? Do you ever see me complaining about Koreans, Vietnamese, Thailandese? I have such respect for Asian culture because they're not really notorious for petty crime. I've never been gang stalked, harassed, um, none of that by a Japanese, by a Chinese. I mean, not even when I was doing a documentary exposing the Chinese Communist Party, I didn't even get one single Chinese troll. Not one. And you know how many Chinese are there in the world? But same with they're gonna say, oh, okay, Chinese and Japanese and Koreans, they're a bit white. So you just don't like brown people. Vietnamese are not white. Thailandese, most of them are not white. You have Philippines, you have Singapore. I'm just trying to put the logic out there because this bullshit needs to change. This bullshit needs to change. These are people that answer the question. Racist motherfuckers, so tough and loud behind a keyboard, but quiet in person. I smell pussy, of course, because these people know me or know this other guy in person. Talking like this when you don't know someone, it's so crazy. Free speech doesn't mean you're safe from the consequences of your actions, retards. So okay, let me get this straight. America has a First Amendment where free speech is the basis of its freedom. It's the First Amendment for a reason. Your speech is protected from censorship because that's the way to preserve liberty. In contrast, in contrast, harming someone, assaulting someone, or even threatening to murder them, it's against the law. It's not protected by the First Amendment. So where do these people live that they think that this is a fair consequence? And not even this. I'm talking about the death threats. If you live in America, black, Latino, white, respect the laws of the country. There's nothing else to it. Nothing. This is really like what the hell is this hatred that people have in them? The world has never been more divided. But common sense apparently took a vacation with these people. It's nowhere to be seen. But this is also a byproduct of the government. This is what Obama did. This is what Trump did. This is like people like freaking Ben Shapiro do. All these control opposition pieces of crap that want to keep you concealed in the left versus right fake dichotomy. It's the fault of the government. It's the fault of the media. It's the fault of the politicians. It's not the fault of the people. I believe that without that manipulation and that created divisiveness, we would get along very well today, for the most part. If the government really wanted peace and order, we will have peace and order. They have never wanted that. I don't know, perhaps 70 years ago with Nixon, with Kennedy, with LBJ, who was a crook, there was order. It was more civilized. Still, bad shit happened back then. But bad stuff will happen whenever humans are. We are a fallen species. We're not fallen angels, but we fell too. And yes, the television has destroyed the minds, the energy, the motivation of many men and women. Now, this is the result of people in power because obviously, if we would be united, they would not be able to manipulate us or run us over as they have done and will continue to do unless we say enough. Now, in regards to certain other cultures where the issue is cultural, it's not because your skin is brown, it's not because your skin is black. It's the culture that you have in your country, is the customs of the people, is what they believe it's a crime and what they don't believe it's a crime, what is socially accepted, what is not socially accepted. For example, and this is something that I was speaking with my cousin today who lives in North Carolina. We were talking. And I told her, you know what, cousin, the thing is that with Islam, the thing I don't like and why I'm so against Islam is three main reasons. Okay? And these three main reasons are not compatible with our society and the way we see things, and we have even with our laws. First of all, we have laws against underage marriages, against selling your daughters. We have anti-human trafficking laws. It doesn't matter if you're the parent, you cannot sell your daughter. How many times we have seen in Muslim countries, parents selling their 9 or 11-year-old daughters to a 50, 60-year-old oil tycoon from Qatar, from Arabia Saudi, from United Arab Emirates. I'm sorry. We see this all the time. That cannot happen in this country or your country in America. I'm in Europe. But we have the same problems today. Obviously, what I cover that happens here can be applied to you and the other way around. Different terrains, different demographics here and there in the details. Second, enslaving women. Enslaving women. Yes, these things happen in Bulgaria. Bulgaria has tons of Islam. The guy that tried to kill the Pope in 1982, I have no love at all for the popes. I've heard enough of it. The guy that tried to kill the Pope was an Islamist from Bulgaria. We're talking 1982. There's Roma gypsies there as well. Roma gypsies also incur in child marriage. This happens here in Portugal. Roma gypsies love to use the racist card too. But when one talks about these things that they do that are fucked up, they cry no. They say, no, we don't do that. Really? You don't? We're just imagining it. Why? Because we love to create this. There's so much time in the world. There's so little things to do that we just like to go around inventing shit about people out of nowhere for fun, for kicks. This is what some of these people actually think about us. So, child marriage, women being enslaved. Yes, MB my Lily. How can I call you? Lily? It's 50% Muslims or more in Dearborn, Michigan. That's unsustainable, guys. So child marriage, women treated as slaves. You see women's cover up with the burqa. They cannot show their face. They cannot show their bodies. Security concerns aside, Lisa, great, great. Okay, that's better. Thank you. Um, yeah. How can there be men who think that they are men and are proud of themselves by enslaving and treating their wives like that? Our wives are our best friends. Our wives are, they play a lot of parts. Our partner in crime, you know, we have fun. We're friends, best friends, husbands, lovers, sexual partners, colleagues, confidants, and your wife cannot. She has to look at the ground. If another man is nearby, has to cover herself. Cannot talk when not spoken to. Has to walk behind you in the street. You can hit her. Is allowed in Islam. It's allowed to bitch slap your wife, punch her if she gets out of line. So we're gonna legalize child sex trafficking, um, domestic violence, and terrorism, which is already legalized because apparently liberals and some black people that like to incur in this behavior, gang stalking, this is terrorism. This is a form of terrorism. To terrorize people, for them not to be able to talk or support who they want to support over the fear of getting 500 death threats, getting fired, getting canceled, getting killed. That's terrorism, guys. So, all these beautiful things we're going to legalize to accommodate the religion of peace. And some of these liberals and communists that love to behave this way too. Terrorism, child sex trafficking, domestic violence. Great. It just sounds great. It just sounds awesome. Like, I cannot wait. Oh, yeah. Not to mention that, Lisa. They have three, four, five wives. It's completely immoral. Um, there's a lot of closeted homosexuality in Islam. Tons. Because if you hate women so much that you have to keep them as a slave, as an ornament, and punch them, and well, you're a piece of trash. I would like to. I would think that you like you really are in love with with your male friends because you hate your wife. I mean, you treat her as if you hated her. You can go around screwing 10 women. It's legal. But if your wife dares to talk to, I don't know, a waiter from a restaurant, or God forbid, get out of the house without covering her face, you have the right to send her to the hospital with a broken arm and a purple eye, black eye. What fucking sense does that make to you? Why should we change decency If we change those laws and we agree to allow that to Islam, then normal pedophiles, national pedophiles, white, yellow, all colors, are going to demand the same rights. And I think they want that. That's the plan. It seems like they have plans, they have different ideas, different paths that go to the same place. All roads lead to Rome, as they say. Huh? Like we have here in Europe. Every country here in Europe, almost every country, has one road that leads directly to Rome. Did you know that? Of course, built by the Romans during the Roman Empire. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, you won't have much longer either, it appears. Crusaders were killing to kill for their delusional cause. You pussies are keyboard warriors, but keep on Crusader. Okay, another misconception, another intellectual fallacy that the Crusades were horrible. The Crusades were a defensive war. Islam had invaded Europe for 700 years. These fucking people are not only criminals, they're the most ignorant, dumb fuck people that I've ever seen. Opening a book shouldn't be that expensive. If you spend 3 hours, 2 hours a day reading instead of insulting people, threatening their lives because of words, you will be so much more intelligent. Thank you, Clarity. Take care. Sleep well. It's 4 a.m. here. I'm gonna go to sleep soon. I just wanna close up on this. Yes, absolutely. It's awesome. We have some structures here in Evora, really close, like half an hour from here. Sleep well. You see, then we have people that agree with us. It says Choker, resorting to violence, proving his literal point. That's true. We're alleging that some of these folks don't respect the law, that they are not compatible with modern society because they don't have impulse control. And we don't want to live with people like that. And I think that that's a fair desire. I don't want to live in a place where I cannot let, I don't know, my 11-year-old son go and play ball or skateboard because there's going to be 5 or 7 kids in the neighborhood who are a bit older than him who hate white kids that are going to try to steal his skateboard or beat him up in numbers if he doesn't give them his things. This ain't right, guys. Like, you guys say we're racist. Like, that's the super. The super accusation that you like, that these people love to throw around. But you defend crime, but you have nothing to say about Islamists and what they want to bring. You are allied with them. It's such a lack of decency, a lack of integrity, a lack of good values. It's shocking. It's shocking. Another stupid white, you know, it keeps going on and on. I don't think I will ever go arrive to the place where I don't have notifications. There's like 50 new ones already. This is not gonna end for a few days. I'm gonna get harassed for days for simply showing support to someone else. Having said that, what is the solution? I am of the mindset that we men tend to think more with rationality and for the greater good, willing to make the hard choices and willing to sacrifice or break a few coconuts to save the tree. Yes, this is on X, all of it. It's all this avalanche of bullshit. Mocking. It's just insane. Anyways, guys, listen, I'm not gonna talk about the solution today. I have a feeling this is not gonna be over anytime soon, and it's gonna continue for a while. Um, I don't know if you guys are all on Telegram, but if you are, or if you're not, I suggest you join. It's my favorite platform to communicate with people. And if you want to join my website, that would be great. TotalDisclosure.net. On Telegram, it would be best if you join me there because there I can make polls. I'm not shadow banned. Um, it's a bit challenging to get new followers there, but we constantly try. I'm personally, I only slept like 2 or 3 hours, so that's why you're already noticing that I'm exhausted, super tired. Sadly, I forgot my wife brought me hot coffee, and then the power went off, and I forgot about the coffee, and I won't drink it cold, man. I mean, I can try. No, not good. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna call it a day. It's 4 a.m., 4:20 here, and yeah, the hatred and all that. Oh, good morning, Bethy. I was about to finish this. you, you can watch the replay, but at least we were able to say hello to each other. I'm exhausted, guys. But listen, thank you for being here. If you go to Telegram, I will make a poll to try and see what subject we'll talk next. But next time, I'll prepare something nicer, something more complete, something more fluid. I think the conversation was nice. I think it was a bit buried, but I still want to know like what subjects would you like to hear about? And I'll make a poll if you guys can join Telegram so you can vote. That would be great. And I guess to close this up, please support each other. Please stop the nonsense of hating people that have welcomed you or treating you with open arms. People that are only looking to protect, um, you know, our country, our safety, everything. Um, White people are great people, man. You guys are tripping. You guys are just you're not being. Doesn't make sense. So besides that, hope you are all blessed. You have a great weekend. It's Friday already. Thank God it's Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you stay safe. We will talk later. Come and say hi on any of my platforms. Send me a DM if you know of someone that would like to collaborate for the film about the migrant invasion. Uh, Anyone could do, but if it's a survivor of violence or abuse, or even a family member of this person or a friend, that's game too. I would be able to talk with anybody. Um, it's for a good cause. The film is going to be free. That's without question. I never thought of charging for a film about that. And pretty much that's it. Thank you for being here. You're too kind. You're awesome. And don't forget that all of you are special in your own way. Take care, Carl. Take care, Liza. Take care, Bets. Take care, Foggy. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know why I don't do this more often, because, to be honest, it's a great thing to talk about things that don't really get much pull on social media nowadays. But with the most nostalgic ones, we can review, and there's just so much going on in the world. One can really talk about anything nowadays. But yeah, as you can see, since I slept so little, I'm already falling asleep here, and I miss my wife. So we'll talk later. Thank you for being here. God bless.